I mean, Brace is probably the first guest we've had that has been in contact with the people we're talking about, like, a lot. You know what I mean?
Listen, I've been at the car hops. I've been at the drive-ins.
Okay, so these are all. This is. I'm taking. I don't know a lot about it. This whole stuff. There's a lot. It sounds like a lot of throwback stuff.
Well, let me be clear here. Actually, I'm not Rockabilly.
No.
And I have a lot to say about Rockabillys, but I've never been. Let me just say, if Rockabilly was a really long wallet chain, which I feel like there's a lot of wallet chains in the subjects you guys covered already. That's like a through line of many subjects in this podcast.
Yeah.
But if Rockabilly was a long wallet chain, I'm just like, compared to that, I'm whatever a Ridge wallet is.
Oh God, and I hate Ridge wallets.
I've never partook.
I have one. Well, but you were around the the punk scene a lot.
Yeah.
And that seems like where a lot of these, like, they call it the punk guy retirement plan.
Yeah.
That's what they call Rockabilly.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine you've been in contact with these guys and had to deal with them.
My whole life, I've seen them. Listen, it's like, since I was a child, I have seen guys in like kind of cabbie hats, a corpulent torso that is sort of sheathed in a vest of either denim or leather with like. Look, we can kind of get more into the details further on.
But this is starting to paint a picture for me. I appreciate this because I'm starting to understand this guy a little bit better now.
Big, stiff, dark blue jeans and like some chunky fucking boots and some maybe we're rocking with the wallet chain. We might have some fuzzy dice. To me, it's like a whole. There's a whole ecosystem of like it's the 50s by way of the 90s.
Now, okay, that sounds horrible. Now, it does. Is this a comment? So, for the question for both of you, that people are still. This isn't just old guys that are doing this who are like. This isn't people who are actually around in that era.
They have passed.
The originals have passed.
Okay.
Long past.
But they potentially maybe passed it on to their children or if they picked it up on their own. Oh, okay. There's a little bit. So
my daughter sent me a picture. My daughter does I'll tell Brace, my daughter does the research on Facebook, so I don't have to go on there.
There you go.
And the other day she sends me a picture and it just says poor freaking kid. And it's from the Facebook group Rockabilly Worldwide. And the guy goes, my lil Rockabilly teddy boy in the making. This kid at 5 knows more about original rock than 95% of the shit millennials out there these days. And the kid has a pompadour. I feel so incredibly bad for the kid.
Yes.
Pompadour's a haircut, right? That classic, like, sort of.
It's like
from Grease, from like the movie.
From Grease. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the classic sort of Rockabilly 50s haircut where it's like slick back but tall. Guys, like, here's the thing. Rockabilly is known quite fairly as being sort of the territory of the white man.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a few things that inject a little soul into it. And one of those is it's one of the few subcultures, aside from, of course, the classic Mohawk punk, one of the few white subcultures where guys are trying to make their hair as tall as possible.
Yes.
So like, because black guys can have the afro or black people can have the afro. But like, if you're like a half Italian, half Irish guy from Indianapolis who just, you want to race in the slot cars and everything, you're a grease monkey or whatever their job. That's what their job is, grease monkey. You need to have your hair tall because you also need to show your fealty to the roots of rock and roll.
Yeah.
And because you completely emulate the music that was like at that point there was still a lot of black dudes playing rock and roll. But you're also there's some racial subtext in the counterculture.
Do they love Elvis? Do they love Elvis?
Love Elvis.
Okay.
Do they love Elvis?
Okay.
Like nobody's business.
Do they love Elvis?
They love Elvis.